How terrific to be back with Stephen Quant. CatBehaviorHelp.com, New York's premier cat behaviorist. Very active with the animal care and control. Oh, it's not called that anymore. What's it called?
Animal Care Centers of New York City.
Animal care centers. Anyway, it's the main intake. All the kitties who nobody wanted. Stephen makes sure that somebody wants them. Stephen, thank you for all your good work with them.
Thank
One
you
of,
for having me.
one of the things that came up recently, someone said vertical peers. I'm like, vertical peers. And I thought, wait, there are cats who back up and pee against something as opposed to squatting in their box. Now, is this something you've dealt with?
Oh yeah, all the time. And more so than maybe some with some behavior consultants, because at the city shelter we get a lot of unneutered and
Oh,
unspayed males and females. So when a cat does what is typically a male in particular, although not limited to males, they back up to a surface with a raised tail that starts to typically quiver.
okay.
And then they direct, this is graphic, I know.
No, but we need to know what this is.
Time to put the sensor in place. They direct a horizontal urine stream, typically against a vertical surface, and not a lot of urine. It's just enough to say, I've
Oh,
been here.
so it's
They're not,
marking. It's not
it's
really
marking,
if not really emptying your bladder. It's
right.
marking.
In fact, it's intentionally not emptying their bladder. They're saying they've been here and it's a small amount of urine. And I've even known cats, this is really interesting. I had a client whose cat spray marked inside the litter box. Very good
How
boy.
very good boy, and that's quite good aim, really.
Very good aim. He had a high-sided box. He was good. He did his thing. He both urinated in a normal way as well as spray marked
I'll
inside the
be
box.
darned.
And but it's not good. And
No.
typically with an unneutered male, the smell is intense. I've literally walked into one of our holding rooms and my eyes start to water right away. And
Wow.
apparently, I've been told approximately 40% of the cats who come into ACC are not spayed and neutered. So it's a widespread issue. Not all unneutered cats will mark, mind you, but most of those that do are in fact neutered. However, up to about 10% of males will spray mark even though they've been neutered, and up to 5% of females. And who knew that female cats can spray mark, but they can. It's all about territorial
Aim.
signals
It's
and
all about aim,
communication.
Stephen. It's
Yeah.
just you have to be determined and have a target. So let's back up for a minute. So this huge proportion of the cats who come in are neither spayed nor neutered. They're obviously, I'm going to say obviously, very quickly spayed and neutered by the shelter. You can't even maintain intact populations without a lot of screaming, literal screaming.
And we're required by law to spay and neuter them before we release them unless they get a waiver. Usually age or health related. They can sometimes get a spay neuter waiver, but the vast majority get fixed as a function of going through the process of being adopted or placed. And and yes, it's not, we don't want unneutered or unspayed females even segregated from other cats because
Right.
they can be doing all these things. And female cats who are unspayed are going into heat regularly. Sometimes
Yes.
you get a female cat who is a tough cookie. She's not super friendly. And then all of a sudden, she's quite friendly. And I'm looking at her and I'm going, oh no, you're in heat, my
You're a
dear,
slut. You're a slut.
and she's looking for a date. And then
Yeah.
she passes through that heat cycle and she returns to her former
A
self.
her crabby self. But once she's spayed and those hormones have left her body, she become a more mellow yellow person.
Not necessarily, who she really is a function of when she's not in heat. That doesn't mean she won't get better and that she would not respond to a loving home and a kind environment and all the things that help cats adjust. For sure, she has all the potential in the world to becoming a sweet cat, particularly if she's not sweet because of environmental conditions.
Right.
But all the things that we give cats, enrichment, love, all of those things can contribute to her becoming a lovely cat.
Sweeter. Okay, so then the question becomes, if I come into your shelter, I'm a 1-year-old male, I'm a 5-year-old male, and now I'm neutered. and I was intact, and I was a tomcat, and I had fights in the yard, and I impregnated females, and I vertical peed, which is what we're talking about. Once I'm neutered, do I become more of a domesticated cat? Do I become more of a gelding in the horse world? Because if a stallion in the horse world is cut late in his life because of usually he can't be managed if he's kept intact as a stallion, whether it's a racehorse or a performance horse or any or even a cowboy horse, if you will. Often they act just like a stallion for the rest of their life, and it's called proud cut. So they don't have
Ah,
their testicles and their hormones, but they remember when they did.
very interesting. Wow, that is fascinating. I've never heard that. Thank you for mentioning that. And the short answer to your question is yes, but it's more complex than that. I have met many unneutered male tomcats who are the sweetest cats you'll
Really?
ever meet. Oh my God, yes. And sometimes they even act okay around other male cats. We have in our interaction room, we have a habitat for multiple cats. We obviously don't put unneutered, unspayed adult cats or older kittens together, but of the same sex, we can. And the males often are just fine with each other. And then maybe they just don't feel the territorial need to defend their turf. But the bottom line is lots of male cats who are unneutered are very sweet. And they just when they get neutered, they just stop spraying if they were spraying. Not all unneutered
Right.
males spray, but it's certainly an issue for people who have
Terrible. Oh,
unneutered
yeah.
or unspayed females in their home, and they are going outside the box, spray marking, and causing havoc in the home. It's terrible.
So when we say vertical peers, they aren't really peeing, they are marking. It's not that they need to pee right now, got to use the John, as it were. It's more, got to let you know I was here, and that wall looks tempting.
Right. And that's absolutely true. There's really two ways we look at it. One is inappropriate elimination, that's
Yep.
peeing or defecating. And that's usually for reasons either connected to the litter box or to too many animals in the home or other stressors that may be causing
Right.
them difficulty, separation anxiety, or a medical problem,
Correct.
right? There's all sorts of medical problems
Yes.
from cystitis to crystals in the urine,
Yep.
right? So there are all sorts of reasons a cat might eliminate inappropriately, but spray marking is different.
Different than vertical peeing.
Spray marking is the vertical peeing.
So it
Spray
is.
marking, yeah, it is marking. It's not really urinating in the
Right.
traditional sense.
So when we see a male or female back up with the tall, quivering tail, you have a cat who is marking. So what do you tell your clients if they have such a cat and he's neutered or she's spayed?
Right. So this is really tricky. There is a small possibility that the neutering was incomplete, and you can do either an expensive test for testosterone, or you can do a very simple test where the vet expresses the penis. And
Okay.
if this is where we get graphic again,
Okay.
we need trigger warnings.
Okay.
If there are barbs on the penis, then the neuter was not
Oh,
completely
I'll be
affected.
darned.
It's that simple. You just squeeze and look, and that'll tell
I'll
you.
be
But
darned. So when
that's
you
it.
get neutered and you're a cat, you no longer have a barbed penis.
That is correct. It may take some time to go away, but it goes away. I had one time I was told by a vet that that some cats' males have undescended testicles, right?
Okay.
It's called cryptorchid, where one comes down and the other doesn't, and you have to go
Yep.
fishing and go find the other one and take it out.
Yes.
This vet knew of a cat who had both testicles descended, and now get ready, fasten your seatbelt, a third undescended
No
testicle.
kidding.
And this cat was spray marking because he was basically intact. And they
Darned.
had to go on an expeditionary force and find that rogue testicle.
Isn't that wild?
But for clients who present with this sort of problem, we can do all the things to try and help the cat feel better about territory and space. And if that alone doesn't do it, then sometimes the cat will benefit from behavior medications that I'm not
Interesting.
qualified to really
Right.
advise on, but vets can.
But a board certified veterinary
E-
behaviorist, of which there's only 57 in
Right.
America or the world, they
It-
would have the medication, or maybe even your GP would.
yeah, every vet can do this, but if you want a very high level of support, you can go to a board certified
Yeah,
veterinary behaviorist. And there's a locator for those vets. There's a
that's
couple
right.
in New York City, and then they're scattered around the country.
So that's really good to know. Huh. So I have this cat who's backing up and spray marking. Just one last question. Pheromones. Do they have some place in this? Because supposedly where there's pheromones, a cat does not feel the need to mark, or does it have to be their own pheromones for that to work?
Great question. You can take the commercial pheromones like Feel Away
Right?
and spray the area. You clean the wall,
Right.
enzyme clean it, spray it with a pheromone, and hope for the best. But it's like taking an aspirin for a major migraine.
Yeah,
It might help,
a little
but it
bit.
seems like there are many cases when it doesn't get the job done.
So these are cats who might be relinquished back to the shelter or to a shelter in the first place. I mean, it's such
Absolutely.
a big problem. These cats, they're not having an out of litter box problem. They have no interest in the litter box. This ain't about the litter box. It's about
Every week,
territory.
yeah, every week we get cats surrendered to the shelter where the primary complaint is the cat is spray marking all over the apartment.
Oh God. That's horrible. I feel bad for the people. Of course, I feel bad for the cat too, but that's not tenable. And this
Right.
is why they say fixed by 5. 5 months old, cats can reproduce. And the younger that you spay or neuter them, the less likely that any of these hormones are going to affect their behavior that they then carry into adulthood.
Yeah, and that's why we don't let kittens over the age of 4 months,
Right.
opposite sex kittens, interact in the shelter.
Yep. Because you have childhood pregnancies. So
We can't allow
get
that.
teen pregnancies. Wonderful. Stephen,
Bad for our image.
very bad, very doesn't look good. Thank you so much, Stephen Quant, for all the good you do and all the information you share with everybody. And I look forward to talking to you again soon on a similar, but perhaps not as graphic a topic. Thank
My
you so
pleasure.
much. Take
Always
care.
good to be here.
Bye bye.